welcome to Smashing Game Time. We are two brothers that go through gaming's back catalog of yesteryear. I am your host, Nick. I am joined, as always, by my brother, Josh.
I think that was your weakest Ricardo turn of the year.
I wasn't even trying to do a Ricardo turn.
I know, that's why I say it was your weakest.
I need to watch Ricardo Has Friends Over. It's been a year. I usually try to watch that once a year just so I can like watch the turn numerous times.
I usually just like a compilation video of all the videos we used to watch. So we got like that, Shrek is Love, or Shrek is Life, Shrek is Love.
Some of these things are harder. Like Googling has gotten harder, but also YouTube. If you search one of those on YouTube, you will get someone reacting to it or someone
hmm
talking about like the relevance of that thing, and it's just no. I want the thing. I don't want you
I don't want the,
telling me about the thing. I want to experience the thing. I don't want to hear your experience about the thing.
yeah, like I could give two shits about any. Honestly, don't get me wrong. There's a couple of like streamers and YouTubers I do watch. But if they ever have like a reaction video or anything like that or deep dives, I'm like, yeah, I don't give two shit. I literally skip over those. Like, I really don't care. If I wanted your opinion, I'd come ask you, but I don't. And it's not like anything against them. They're doing whatever. Like, they're making their content. They know what their fans want. That's fine. I just can't.
I say this as a guy who has a podcast where I can give my opinion. I don't give two shits most of the
Yeah.
time, unless it's someone that I know personally, and I'm like, oh, uh, Kate is over here playing this game and she likes it. I'm gonna go check it out because, well, duh. But otherwise, like if it's some random stranger that's playing Call of Duty and doing soy face, like I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care what you think about anything.
I, so I've been thinking about it more and more because this is who I am. And I'm like, I wonder if obviously there's people who do it to an extent. Like usually it's like in like guide form or like maybe like a let's play, but or not so much a let's play, just more like a guide. But I'm half tempted to start streaming with me not talking whatsoever. It's just the game and just doing like an ASMR type thing where it's like, come in, enjoy the game, the sounds of it, the music, the effects, all of it. Like, you're not going to hear me talk. You're not going to hear any effects of like the donations and stuff. No, it's just you come in, you can chat with other people, you can watch my old ass play games and make fun of me or enjoy the content or whatever. I can give two shits.
You know,
It's like tempting.
at that point, you know what you're almost better doing is recording yourself playing the game. Like, no commentary, just
Yeah,
the game as it is. Record your whole session of you playing the game, and then you know what you do? You
upload it.
stream, you upload it, and you stream that video of you playing the game. That way, that if anyone's in there, you can chat with them in the chat. Right?
And
Right?
that's not a bad I mean, like I said, for sure, just the playing it part, like, uh, just not having to talk while you're playing it, like, that's already, like, ideal.
There's a reason no commentary is becoming more popular on YouTube.
Yeah, I mean, there's some people who can't talk, and there's some people who are like, "I'm just gonna be just obnoxious and obscure about it, and for some reason, I'm gonna get all these people who like me because usually it's kids." Like, I'm a 35-year-old guy or girl who's just super obnoxious, and the only reason I'm relevant is because all these 5-year-olds who have no parent control whatsoever are coming over here and watch me curse like a sailor, dress nude, and play these
Wait, did you just say
games.
dress nude?
Dress nude.
dress. I'm dressed. I'm
Yes.
dressed nude.
That's how you get around all the rules and stuff like that. Technically, they're dressed; they're not nude.
I'm dressed nude. I just the thought of putting those words together. I am now tempted to just start making the title of every episode no commentary. Just just to see if there's an uptick. Because the YouTube algorithm, which again, we don't fuck with the algorithm, but apparently
No.
the YouTube algorithm has changed. So what people used to do, and this is boring algorithm stuff. So if you're checked out, like, I don't know, click ahead and listen to us talk
Just
about
go,
video
skip by
games.
probably 5 minutes ahead, just to be
20,
safe.
this could be a tangent, but no. So it used to be that like if you were a big channel, what was going on is like, let's say, hey, Smashing Game Time podcast. Okay. Oh wait, you're posting let's plays and you're posting shorts. Oh no, like that's fucking up the algorithm and we don't know what to do with the channel. So what channels used to do in the last few years would you have your big channel that is your Smashing Game Time podcast, and you have a
Mhm.
separate channel which is basically the same name, but we would call it like Smashing Game Time Shorts or Smashing
It'd
Game
be all
Time
your.
Let's Plays, and each one.
That was what basically what it did.
But
Yeah.
now those channels are starting to be like, actually, it's not making a difference, and the other stuff's not getting the views.
Is
So
it the same
everyone's
case for
transitioning back.
those who do, like, they'll have, like, their regular channel, but then they maybe they'll have, like, a VOD channel to, like, separate it?
Yeah, yeah, it's something like that, and it goes back to my thought, like, people are always, like, "Get on TikTok, get clips on TikTok," which I've been like, my brain I'm way too busy to do it, but my brain's been like, "We should start doing TikToks again," because my other podcast has started doing shorts, but it goes back to what my belief was when we started this podcast, and that was that, yeah, you could have 1,000,000 people watch a TikTok little minute clip, that's not gonna drive them over to your podcast. The people who are very popular on TikTok that have a podcast are people who have already listened to their podcast and are now like, "Oh, I'm gonna follow them on TikTok too. Oh, I remember that clip. Like, I listened to that the other day." Like, that's just I mean, no one's finding a podcast on TikTok. And, I mean, I know there's a person listening to this like, "Actually, you motherfucker, listen here. I find all my podcasts through TikTok. You're the exception. You're not the rule, buddy. Calm down."
Hold on, that's probably the same guy who, like, started listening to Hawk Tuah Girl.
Is she still doing a podcast? Is she still podcasting?
No, I think she's, like, dipped out after her, meme coin failed.
I think she came back and was like,
Oh,
"Sorry,
she came
guys."
back?
She came back a few months. She took like a few months off and then came back. I don't know where she's at. I don't care. I think half. I don't fully believe in everything that dead internet theory says, but I do believe that a lot of the numbers you see follower wise, those are bought. Like
Oh, there's definitely bots involved in some way, shape, or form, too.
I've watched some videos where people are like, "Well, here's how you can pay $100 and get 1,000 people to like something," and it's just bot farms.
Yeah.
And I know, like, from my Twitter days, like, people I knew in the screenwriting community that had, like, 10,000 people following them, and they would be like, "Oh, I used to be big," and I almost said what Twitter this guy was big in, that would have outed who it was, but, he was big into fuck it, he was big into Degrassi Twitter, and, like, I look at those numbers, I'm like, "Okay, maybe you had a few memes pop off," but I feel like a lot of these followers are bought. That's just my read. That's my read on the room. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. I no hate towards anybody. I just whenever I see a high number on a social media site, I'm like, but why though? Like when I see a politician with millions of followers, I'm like, who
Yeah, so,
you
like, if it's, like, a celebrity, I'm like, "Okay, that makes a little more a little more sense." Like, you could justify it,
yeah,
almost.
when I see a politician, I'm like, wait a minute. So you're telling me this motherfucker's constituents who can barely turn on the computer made a Twitter account, hopped on, followed the motherfucker. I just
And
I
liked
don't get it.
or retweeted.
When I see that, Facebook makes a little more sense because, the Facebook is like the old people valley. Uh,
Oh, it's the Apple equivalent in social media. It's super user friendly, it's easy to find, and, I mean, now the ads are just ridiculous, so you can find people anywhere at any time.
I miss the days on Facebook where it would just be the people you knew. It would just be the
Mhm.
people you knew, and it wasn't like people like, "Oh, Nick shared Tide Pod challenge from Tide."
Well, hold on, they've gotten better with it, I will admit. Like, I don't get on there very often, but when I do, you can just click friends now, and they have the whole thing that's like backpacked where it's just your friends.
I don't know, man. I'm looking and all I see is them sharing like stuff from like brands. Okay, there's some baby
I'll
pictures.
say that
I
I don't
think I
wanna
think I
give
saw
people's names away.
I think I saw
You
Jake and
saw
his
Jake.
kiddo. Yeah, I saw
Yeah.
Jake and his
Like
kiddo.
yeah, it's still people, like, sharing they'll share the stuff, but for the most part, as far as, like, it's not like, um, Josh likes GameFAQs.com. I don't know, I'm just naming this bullshit at this point.
Yeah, I know.
But it's not like shit like that where then it's an ad or it's promotion. Then it's like random ass groups where it's like maybe one time we happen to watch a video on something on Facebook, and now all of a sudden it's like, hey, since you watched that one video, we're just gonna bombard your home feed with all these groups that are dedicated to that one thing. So if you watched a One Piece video for like 2 seconds, guess what, friend? Every One Piece group we have on here is going to go ahead and just you're going to see so many different groups post.
I think if social media wants to be as big as it was before, which I don't think it'll ever get back to it. But in a
No.
perfect world, what will happen is that there will be a new social media company. I'm making them up right now. And the rule is you get one post a day. You get one post a day. That's all you get. You get one post. One post. That's it. You don't get
Make it
to
count.
and you get to like 5 things. That's it. That's it. One post, 5 things. The first thing that does is chase the ad people away because they're like, shit, they can only be on this for like 5 minutes and then they're done. The ad people are gone. The things that ruin social media, gone. The companies are like, fuck, they can, let's go somewhere else. So let's say I start an account. Okay. Like you kind of do social media kind of like a, what, those old iPhone games where like, okay, you planted your crops. Now you have to water them. Okay, come back tomorrow and
Wait,
you can pick
huh,
them.
ironically, I was gonna say, you know what else would help if they brought back, Farmville.
But hey, you can if you
Yeah,
play Farmville, that's your post for the day.
that's your post.
But
If you want more water to be able to water your crops, you gotta press this button, and that's gonna make your post. So
but you
choose wisely. Water your crops, make your
or
post.
wish grandma a happy birthday because it could be her last. Decide.
Honestly, if we're gonna throw in stuff to bring back, can we go ahead and bring back like the experience MySpace brought with like your bring you want to go in and change your own HTML code? Like bring your
That's
like when they click on your page, you can have like your own music on there. You can have your own backgrounds and stuff. Like I'm not saying like take over the whole thing, but give that customization back because that was really cool. Now everything's just very generic and like, hey, we're gonna keep it all the same. We're like, we're
d-
this is a private school and we all wear uniforms.
so if you change the background on your page, it's the one thing you can do that day. That's it. That's all you can do. And
I'd
if
be
you
okay
fuck it
with
up,
that.
it's got to be fucked up for a day. Sorry. That's just how
I,
that that's how quick stop. I'm gonna call it quick stop. We're calling it quick stop.
well, if we're gonna be honest, if the one thing is just doing one thing, before you can have 100 friends, you have to spend 100 days adding those 100 friends.
Yeah, you can only add one friend a day. I like this. I like this. You can only add one friend a day. If you add your profile picture, that's it. That's all you can do that day.
Yeah,
That's it. Like I want a social media website or a social media app that's like, all right, you did your thing, get the fuck out of here, go live. Go live. Like I don't
just
give
like cut you off right there as soon as you do it. Like, no, dude, oh fam, you're done. You're
get out.
done. Go
Get out of
home.
here.
Touch grass.
Touch grass, go. Go. Go on, get. Go on, get. And you know what? That would make it because if you can only do one thing a day and you're like, oh shit, Josh wrote me. I have to write him back. Kind of starts to feel like snail mail because it's like, because you don't know when you're gonna hear back from somebody.
Well, that and having to doom scroll the whole fucking time. That how fucking relieving that would be.
The fun part of social media is the social aspect, like being social. And a lot of social media, a good chunk of it, echo chambers, Reddit, Truth Social, Blue Sky, even Twitter. It's everyone getting into a pile and being like, "This is our pile. If you don't agree with this pile, get the fuck out." Whereas if you can only do one thing a day, you're not gonna get into a pile and be like, "This is our pile." You're gonna be like, "Oh fuck, like I need to." I need to share that recipe with Susan that I promised to share with Susan, and if I don't, she's not gonna be able to make that thing for Thanksgiving. All right, Susan, here's the recipe. Send. Oh fuck, I messed it up. Too bad. You fucked up the recipe. You gotta wait till tomorrow to correct it. I hope Susan doesn't see this.
I mean, granted, people might say, well, then they'll just go to some other social media and do it. Yeah, dude, guess what? It's just not gonna be as cool. And honestly, they're gonna get distracted with all the other shit that's on there.
I hope you like all your ads. It's just I was sitting at work the other day and I was getting shit done. And then I hopped on Blue Sky and I was like, wait a minute, why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? Because I'm just gonna spend a bunch of time like, oh, did someone click the button? Did someone click? Oh, someone clicked the button. Dopamine rush, dopamine rush. Yes, what I said has value. What I said has value. When in fact, like the whole thing should just be interacting with each other and not just, oh, they hit a button. They hit. I said Josh, you said 5 minutes. I said 20 minutes. It's been almost 15 minutes. So we're gonna
You're
move
moving
on.
on.
We're gonna move on. Today it's gonna be a shorter podcast. I say that and I already was on a soapbox here. We're gonna talk our games we've been playing. We're gonna do some news. We've got a meme of the week that Josh didn't make. He stole this week, so
Yeah.
send him to jail. Send that man to jail. And then we're gonna do some updates on the GOTYSO categories and talk about where we're at with what we want to play before GOTYSO here in we're recording this on June 17th. If you're listening to this the day it came out, it's June 18th. Fuck. Okay, so GOTYSO is in 2 weeks, Josh.
We are not prepared.
We
I
do
can
it.
tell you right now.
We do it the week of we would basically be recording next week if I'm not mistaken.
Do we have that on our schedules? So, no, we don't. Shit. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna have to schedule that after this so I can talk to Andy.
We've got to schedule some time for the studio here next week. Maybe because you know what we have, you know what's tricky? We have to record our episode for the 25th, and then we got to go right into GOTYSO.
We might need to make a fucking weekend thing out of this.
We got to figure it out. I've gotta make my material. I've got to make the ad materials. I thought we had more time. I thought June had just started.
Nah, fam, we're almost done. We only got 2 weeks left.
I am one of those people. There's something wrong with my brain. As soon as May is over, my brain is like, man, I can't believe summer's over already.
You got that summer brain.
It does it every time. It's like, because May is probably my favorite month because work wise, everything is slowed down. Everyone's fucked off to like their corners of the world. I work in academics, so that means students are gone. And it just feels like everything's brand new. And then June hits, and I'm like, fuck, it's over. Because I mean, August is when things start to pick up again. So I'm like, oh no, I have to start getting ready for August. Fuck me, because I'm still working in that time. I'm not a teacher. I don't have the summer off, folks. Sorry. Or else, if I had the summer off, do you know how much shit we'd get done for this show? You know how many words I'd write for the website, like I say I will.
I'm gonna say probably the same thing with Andy. You're probably not gonna get anything done.
Dude, no, I'm working remote right now. I wrote 12 pages for a feature today. I mm, 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 mm. I'm finishing my sketch album, dude. I'm telling you, if I ever get a sabbatical, watch out, because I will. Don't get me wrong, I'll be lazy for a little bit. I'll lay in bed, I won't do shit. But then when I do the work, I do the work. Let's get to our chores. Josh is just like
Yeah.
Josh doesn't believe a word I'm saying right now.
No, I don't, because as somebody who lost their job and pretty much was basically doing nothing, I was like doing nothing other than applying for jobs and crying. So
Look, I said I was gonna get to chores, but I was just on LinkedIn Jobs the other day, and I was like, man, it is fucking bleak in here. It's
it's
bad.
only gonna get worse. It's only gonna get worse.
World War III, baby, here we come. Let's do some chores here at the I'm air quoting at the top of the show. Smashing Game
Yeah.
Time is wherever you get your podcasts. We're on Apple, Spotify, YouTube Podcast, and YouTube proper, where we have a video version. You can see our lovely video-fied faces. I don't know if our video carries over to Spotify. I should probably check that out. I know that Spotify has the capability to do video, but I don't know if our video automatically carries over because I do have a link to the videos that go there, but I don't know if that. I'll check that out. I'll check that out.
I need to check that out.
Spotify also does comments, so if you've been commenting on
Oh
the
shit!
episodes in Spotify,
When did they start doing
sorry,
that?
we got to check those out. Yeah.
When did they start doing that?
That was in the last 6 months, I feel like.
I don't remember it popping up. That's why I'm like, they do?
I need to go back and look. Just
I'm
to,
going on there right now, honestly. Just
Probably
see.
just the last 10 episodes. Well, while you do that, I'm going to do my thing. Hey, fuck the algorithm, tell a friend. That's right. We don't fuck with stars or written reviews. I mean, you can do it if you want, but we don't really fucking care because we want you to tell your friends. So please tell your friends. And then, maybe kick a computer in the head or something. Just do it. And those are our chores. We've got a small little game list here. I am playing Clair Obscur. I'm just going to jump right into it, Josh.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm playing Clair Obscur. For those who don't know, that is the little turn-based RPG that I was playing last week. Mark had mentioned he was playing a little bit of it last week. It was good to catch up with Mark, by the way. I think I've got like 5 hours left. I'm about done with Act 2. Josh, you've not played this, right?
No, it's sitting there. I'm honestly working on Alan Wake 2 before I get started on Clair Obscur.
Josh, you would enjoy this game.
Oh, trust me, I keep seeing videos of it. And I'm like, oh my god, this is one of those I can't believe. Like I remember seeing the trailers for it, and I was like, it looks really good, but I'm like, I just don't know. And the fact that it came from an ex Ubisoft employee, or yeah, ex Ubisoft employee started the company that made it. I
Mhm.
was like, I'm hesitant, but like, oh wait, and then of course it comes out and it's as of right now even still game of the year, and I'm like, God damn it,
It's a second coming. This is I think this game is moving the mountains that everyone thought Final Fantasy was gonna move last year.
which honestly, I'm happy. Like, I'm not saying like I love Final Fantasy, I love Square Enix, like they're a great company, but I'm glad that a new company is coming forward and like I just love hearing the indie developers coming out and basically just demolishing these triple and quadruple A companies because it's like they're trying to sit there and justify these 70 $80 games, and Clair Obscur is like, yeah, it was what's the group called again?
Is it Sand something? I don't have it in front of me.
Yeah. They're like, "Yeah, so we're only gonna charge you like $50, and we made like a pretty fucking decent game, and we're still they're releasing ton of updates for it. There's still content that's coming out for it. Um, yeah, I
That is
mean,
Sandfall Interactive.
Sample
So
Interactive, thank you.
yeah, I'm in the thick of it. The game kept at for a little bit there. The game kept adding mechanics that I was like, all right, it's getting a little bit ridiculous. You better stop adding mechanics. But now that I have all these mechanics, I'm like, you know what? I kind of like all these. So one such mechanic, and I'm gonna butcher the name. I think it's called like a glimmer attack, which you have a bar that builds up for every little AP point you use, which you use AP
Mhm.
for your special skills. And like you have a counter, so it goes up to 3. So and that's between your whole party. So like let's say you get it up to 1, you can have someone in your party use that special glimmer attack. And again, I'm butchering the name. It might be a grimage attack. I'll look it up post show. But so you have the 1, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna have my L use her attack that cost 1. Boom. Or if you get it up to 2, okay, have her use it and then have this guy over here use it. Or some of the attacks cost 2 or some of them cost 3, which you unlock by
Mhm.
doing special relationship tasks during camp. And so you use that, but then the other cool thing about it is you use that attack and then it gives that character another turn right away. And then so they
Okay,
can
I
use a
like
skill.
that.
And
I
so
like that.
it's adding up for ways for me to stack different, stack different not abilities, but when you like burn somebody, like stack
Buffs and
buffs and statuses. Like I can
yes.
stack statuses. So like for example, one that I really like, and I just got an achievement for doing it. So I was like, oh, this they were hoping someone would do this. So my L, who's probably my favorite, just because she's a little speed demon that like attacks like a fencer. She's got like a little fencing sword.
So it's basically Riku, yes.
Yes. Well, and people are well, just like Riku, the internet's creepy about her.
Of course, well, it wouldn't be the internet without that.
16-year-old girl, the internet was like, oh, where's my pen and paper? I have to draw her.
Real 34? Real 34?
Don't do it. No, inappropriate. But no, so she's speedy, and my build, I also like dumped all my ability points into her agility, so she's always getting the first attack.
Of course.
So one of her skills, you can cast defenseless on the enemy. So I do that, and then another, and then so each, and I'm doing a terrible job of explaining this, but you know what? It's good practice for GOTYSO. So here we go. So each character kind of has these special circumstances that you're tracking. So like a character that you get at the beginning of Act Two, he he has like a ranking system. So like he starts out at a D rank, and for completing a skill and hitting like the quick QTEs, and then also dodging and blocking whenever the enemy is attacking, his rank goes up. So his different skills, like let's say you use one of his skills, it'll be like if you're an S rank, extra damage for this skill, or if you're a C rank, you get extra rank boost when you use this ability, or if you're boosting your allies with power, if you're an S rank, instead of 3 turns, you get 5 turns. So there's all these special circumstances these skills can make. So I comboed him with her. With him, you can do I think it's a target. It's a big X, and it means the next attack on that enemy is going to hurt. And then
Mhm.
my L, if an enemy's on fire and you use a certain skill, it puts her in a stance. And so her thing is she has 3 stances, very much like fencing. She can go into a defensive stance, which means attacks or take attacks do 50% less damage when she attacks, but she also takes less damage. She can do an offensive position where she does, I think it's 150% more damage, but then takes like that much as well.
Mhm.
Or there's and I'm forgetting the other stance, but it's the one where her attacks do 200% damage. And so there's this skill she has where if you're in that third stance, which is purple, and I'm blanking on the name, the AP to do that skill only costs 2. And then the other thing is if an enemy is marked X, that ability also does extra damage. So just synchronizing these different skills to get enemies into a certain status and be set up for a next attack. It's so much fun. It is so much goddamn fun. And then Loon is our spellcaster. She has all these elemental attacks, and she has this one where so her subset of things is like when she casts a spell, it puts like a shine, which is just like a leftover from the spell into like this thing. And so it's over on the screen and it'll collect. So like there'll be a red one because you cast fire, a blue one for ice. And you can consume those shines with other spells later on to do additional damage. So there's one, I think it's called Mix, where it takes every shine that you have, and you can have up to 4. And when you're doing that attack against an enemy, it'll dump all those shines onto that enemy and do additional damage. Another one that I haven't used as much, character's named Shael. She has a scythe. She attacks people with dark and light attacks, and she also uses cards. Remember the cartoon Card Captors? She's a fucking card captor, Josh. she
That's
is
fucking cool.
she is a fucking card captor. But her thing is when she attacks enemies with her skills, she puts cards on them, and then if she mixes her dark and light attack, she goes into like this twilight mode so that like let's say if you're in twilight mode and you use an ability that would have normally put 5 cards on an enemy, instead it'll double that and put 10 for that attack. And then you have different abilities that are like, okay, hey, for every card on this enemy, you're doing this much amount of damage. And it's just so much fun mixing it. And you get a guy, Josh, I'm gonna sell you on this game right now.
Listening.
You get a guy that steals enemies' feet so he can turn into them as the skills.
So
It's
he's
Legend of
Kamari.
Legaia. It's Legend of Legaia.
I was gonna go with Kamari where he just copies their skills.
He's Kamari. You know what? He kind of looks like Kamari.
Someone like their Final Fantasy X a lot.
But it's how like Legend of Legaia, you were battling Rosaru and you're like, oh man, I hope I get this Rosaru that I just killed. I hope because what did we ever find out? Was it always just random if you got the
Yeah.
Rosaru? Because we convinced ourselves, we Nintendo uncle convinced ourselves that the last attack has to be, you have to hit them with your Saru or your Rosaru to
So
capture
it's
the Saru.
actually so I had to look it up when I was getting ready to start it again. It's based on the spirit stat that you have. That's like your percentage basically.
Okay.
And then there's some things that are true of it, like if you use the Rashru button at the end of your attack, it's supposed to increase it. I think they said like there was like a 5% increase chance of getting that Shrew by doing that. And then if you use like your hyper art or not hyper art, your the one they have to get the books to get it, and they're
Mhm.
specific to your character. Um, if you do it with those, it's like a 2% increase.
Yeah, so this guy, it's very the only thing. So like an enemy will be marked with like a leg, which indicates that like, hey, if you kill this guy and this guy is in the party, he gets that character. So it's very straightforward. You can only each character can only have 6 abilities, so like you have to like pick those out. Everyone else has like an unlocked tree. His is just, oh hey, you fought this beast and he won. He's got the leg. All right, you can do that. So as soon as I
That's
saw it, I was
cool.
like, oh my god,
So
Josh
basically,
Allen.
he's is he the character that yeah, is he the character that's basically was broken, where they had to pack? He was like one of the first updates, where like, yeah, he's got a busted ability. We have to like nerf it really quickly.
Maybe he was. I don't know. I played it at well after that, but he seems
As I
pretty.
know, there was one character where I was like, yeah, if you do this, you'll literally hit like 999 million or something like that.
So, and I've heard that there's a pickup where you're because it's typical RPG stuff where the most damage you can do is 999,000. I mean, no, yeah, 9,999. I've reached that wall, and I'm doing that multiple times. But I've heard there's a pickup that lets you extend past that. So I'm like, please give me this pickup, please. These fights would go so much quicker if I had this. What else? Oh, there's 5 characters in my party right now. I think there's another one that joins later. but it very much you will get in the habit of like, all right, these are my three. These are the three
Like
I'm doing.
like every other JRPG out there where there's a limit. Of course, like I don't care who you are, like unless you're like a not completionist, but unless you're like somebody who's like a speedrunner and you know like which character you need to do what, you're gonna always have your three. Like for Final Fantasy X, as soon as I get all the characters, Titus, Lulu, and then depending on what mood I'm in, it's either Waka or Auron.
Yeah, so I'm locked down on my three. The game does level up the two strays that I've got. Like I'll look and they'll be, oh, they leveled them up when my other guys leveled up. Cool. So at least they're
Okay, so they get experience too when they're not in the party, or
right.
yeah, when they're technically not in the party.
Right, and if you're doing a fight and your party dies, the game gives you the option to throw. Like it's cool because it'd be like, do you want to throw in those who remain? And you're like, yeah. And then like a thing pops up on the screen. It's like the final stand of Expedition 33, and it's really cool because you're like, oh fuck.
Oh, that's so cool.
Because if it lets you do it for most boss fights, and so like if the boss fight is coming down to the wire, and like there have been a few where I was like, oh fuck, I don't know if I'm gonna survive this. And then I send in that second group after everyone's died. I'm like, oh fuck, okay, we've got. But even then, it's nail biting because likelihood is those two that are coming in are very underleveled compared to where your guys are.
See, now I'm more pumped to play it. I mean, literally, the only reason I have not touched it is because I'm trying to be good and finish Alan Wake. That is literally the only reason I haven't touched it.
I've been reading it. It takes about 25 hours. I think I've got about 18 hours in it. Of course, I let it sit a little bit.
Is that just going through and beating getting like the story done, not including all the side stuff and all the trophies, I assume?
I've read the people like that just ran through it, did it in like 18 hours.
Okay, so it's still, I mean, obviously a long enough game, but not so long.
So what I'll do just to like get an idea of how long a game is, I'll pop onto YouTube and just look for a no I'll look for a no commentary one, and I'll just see I'll find like the top two and be like, okay, so like I think one of the ones I saw, so the guy I think it was MK Ice and Fire or whatever that guy is,
Yeah.
he did it in like 17 hours. So I was like, okay, we're in we're in good company. But no,
For
I'm
those
really
who don't know, that was just an old video guy or YouTuber. I used to pull all of his videos up for our when we were talking about our old games.
he's still going strong. He's still going strong.
My man.
This game also splits up the parties a lot. I think I've played through two moments where like the party's been split up or like things have changed about the party. And I like
So they
that.
go very much Final Fantasy 13 with it.
So I haven't played any Final Fantasies since 10 or 12, but I don't remember a lot of like party split ups. Even in 7, I don't think there were a lot of party split ups.
No, uh, like I guess maybe when they split up to take care of Shinra and the Omega weapons
Mm.
or the Ultimate weapons. Uh, Final Fantasy 13 is really the only one I can think of off the top of my head that's like really like they definitely do it because at one point after like the technical is the tutorial area where you're basically trying to figure out what your task is. Everybody branches off. You have two people who are like, yeah, fuck this, we're just gonna go live life, and then you have two people who are like, yeah, no, we're gonna go after the government, and then you have one guy who's like, yeah, I'm gonna stay here with my dead girlfriend.
Because I remember, so that sounds very much like 4, or whatever. 4 or 2. No, it's 4 here. Final Fantasy 4. That
With
was like,
Cecil and
yeah, the one with Cecil,
Rosa.
Pella,
Yeah.
Rosa, Ryda,
Mhm.
Kane. That one was like constantly changing your party. Like you never knew who you were gonna have at any moment. And maybe that's just why I'm always a little bummed. And I'm like, ah, we've all been together for so long. We kind of need to split up a little bit, guys.
Let's split up, gang.
Split up, gang. I get why Freddie was always getting him to split up. We got to split up, everybody. Shaggy, you take the dog over there. Me and the girls are gonna go go over here. You go on, go to the scary basement. We're gonna.
We all know what he was doing.
He,
There's no like, no matter what you're doing. Freddie knew what he was doing.
Shaggy was hanging out with the dog, but Fred was the dog, if you know what I mean.
Rutro Raggy.
But no, I'm really enjoying Clair Obscur. It makes me want to go back when I'm done with it. When after GOTYSO, of course, because I've got some other games to play for GOTYSO. But it makes me want to go back and play Chained Echoes. It's giving me I want to go back and play some Chained Echoes.
No, honestly, it reminds me very much of a little bit, at least what I've like read and kind of seen. It kind of reminds me of what Lost Odyssey was trying to do.
See, I've only seen like the opening hour of Lost Odyssey, but I remember it being very. It opens on like a war scene, doesn't it?
Yeah, you are literally in the middle of a war, and your first fight is against a like a tower, basically.
I'd be down. I think the only thing wrong with it was that it was on the 360. Sure, everyone had it, but no one with the 360 was playing Lost Odyssey. Everyone was like, "Give me Gears of War, give me Halo, Lost Odyssey.
Well,
What is that? Is that like Lost Planet? That has big bugs that I shoot. No,
I
it's
think
not.
I
That's
only
not
got
Lost
past the
Planet.
first disc, and that's just about when you find out.
No spoilers, Josh.
I'm not gonna spoil it, but that's when you find something out, and then that like ends the chapter or the disc, and you go to the second one.
Clair
That's all I
Obscur,
remember.
Clair Obscur's got some pretty good twists, Josh. I won't spoil them. I won't tell you,
Yeah, please don't. I've been avoiding it.
but I'm excited for you to play it. I hope you get to play a little bit of it before GOTYSO, but we'll see.
That is my plan. I'm no matter what, I'm at least gonna finish. Well, here, are you done with yours?
Yeah, I'm done with Clair Obscura. We'll have way more fun talking about it when you get to play it.
Oh yeah. So the reason I'm holding off is because I'm knee deep in Alan Wake 2.
How you're playing this on PlayStation?
Mhm.
Are you enjoying Alan or playing as Saga more?
See, that's just okay. This is where I'm a little torn. I like Alan's side because it seems a lot more. There's a lot more to it as far as like I like the being able to go into the different areas and change the setting based on the power of your words. So right now I'm in the initiation part 4, which is the Ocean View Hotel.
Okay, I don't think
I
I
don't know
ever
how
got
far
that
you
far.
made it. Okay,
Did
so sorry, go ahead.
Did you get through the rock opera yet?
Yes, that was the chapter right before that.
Okay,
Fucking honestly beautiful. I
yeah.
loved every moment of it.
Everybody seems to nut their pants over that part.
Dude, it was honestly so between just between the lyrics, how it's set up, and watching all the like they have like screens up of you'll see like the actor who plays as Alex Casey, you'll see the guy who is who's he's called Mr. Window.
Isn't that all Sam? Isn't it all of it Sam Lake?
No.
Yeah, I don't know who plays Casey.
I can't think of his name. I'd have to pull it up. Um but yeah, um you just see like you'll see them, you'll see the old gods of Asgard doing stuff too. It's just it's so well done. The lyrics are fantastic. The music is fantastic. Watching hearing the fuck what's the song called? The Keeper of the Light, I think is what it's called. So fucking good, especially when you start fighting the Taken. So good.
I remember the Alan portions of that game, and I've only played like the first two or three, being very slow.
They are, but I just think it's also really neat. Where I feel like with sagas, hers is creepier, scarier.
I did, yeah. Like again, that opening section in the woods when you're being attacked by Nightingale, I
Mhm.
loved it. I was like, this is spooky. This is what I wanted the first game to be.
Yeah, I mean, literally, with sagas, I feel like that's where the horror kicks in. There's also that mystery, which I'm like very curious what's going on. And plus, obviously, I mean, they sit there and tell you every time, like, "Hey, don't forget to go into the janitor's closet and switch between realms because you can play it anytime you want." But really, I think they want you to switch on and off between them, not so much like play one all the way through. Because, but even then, I feel like Saga is really the main character of this, not so much Alan, because you also get with when you're playing Saga, you also get Alan's parts called the Return.
See, I like the sequel where the protagonist of the game is not the protagonist from the first game.
Yeah,
I'm a mark for those games. Metal Gear Solid 2, Halo 2, Last of Us 2, like you name it, and I will. But you know, I don't think Saga got that much hate. I don't think people had hate in their heart for Saga. I'm sure there's those
no,
racists out there that are just racist, but I think everyone else pretty much has liked Saga from what I've heard.
and even then, like, so obviously every character in Remedy's book of characters has abilities of some sort. I wonder if her like so obviously for those who don't know, there's a mechanic for each of your characters. Alan has the writer's room where you're able to take certain scenes and add words to them and change them basically. So, like for example, in the tunnels, which is like the first chapter you play as him, you're able to go from like a abandoned tunnel to like the cult's tunnel or the fire starter or torch starters, whatever they're called, and it just changes the scene to a point where it's like a different time or a different setup, so you can actually traverse it better.
It's
So
very much like that level from Titanfall 2 where you're jumping
yes,
between times.
yes, it's very much like that. So it's really good, and you're able to traverse through all that. Saga's is a little different. Hers is she has her own like not a cabin, but it's like the room at the lodge you're in, basically. But you're able to like go in and study a case. So you have all of these. You have like the pictures and the notes with the um, yarn attached with the strings, and then you're able to do like go inside. You can go to someone's psyche and understand who they are and get in their mindset and try to figure out what they're doing. And I'm almost wondering if that's like if that's a mechanic in the game they're just doing to like justify how she's really good at solving her case and is smart, or if that's actually like some type of like ability that the FBC would be watching.
R- I don't know if you've experienced this yet, but can't you be attacked in your the room where she's investigating, or there's jump scares in there, right?
There is jump scares, and so far it's only happened when I've done like Alan's psyche.
I think I remember like looking at her wall at one point and then like turning around and someone was standing there.
I have not experienced that yet, but then again, I'm very much I only go in there when I need to do it, and I rarely do the case stuff unless it has to progress the story. Like, I mean, I'll do it once I've gotten like a bunch. Like, okay, I got like 11 notifications. I need to go in there and do it, but I'm not like observing it. Now, Alan's on the other hand, his shit's fucking creepy.
Yeah, because like shit will pop off in the room. I don't know if
Hmm.
you're fighting anything, but it'll be a jump scare, right?
Yeah, like so for one instance, I literally went into an elevator. I went into my mindset just to like use uh word of power. So like you basically it's his, hey, let's basically give you a stat boost and something. So basically you can be like, hey, if you've got your shotgun, you can get instead of doing like a 15% damage increase, it'll do 25%. Um I went in there to do that, and as soon as I pressed the button, it did like Mr. Scratches nearby, and it did like the faces, and I was like, fuck. Same thing where like if you're getting into a spot and you have the shadow people around you, if there's enough of them around you, um, you'll start to hear noises, and you'll hear like Alan Wake, and then like you'll stop, and then all of a sudden they get really fast, and then you'll get the Mr. Scratch thing again. And it's just every time Mr. Scratch is nearby or the darkness is nearby, it fucking messes with the screen. And I'm always not, for some reason, not prepared for it. I'm like fucking like I'm not like scared like, oh, I'm done playing. I'm like, God damn it! You think I know this is gonna happen? Why am I not prepared for it?
I don't mind like the screen being fucked with. I've always enjoyed that. I do think the player being jump scared or being attacked in like a safe area, and I'm air quoting for those who are listening. I think that trope's kind of getting played out now. I think the first time when it happened, which what was that? Did in remake RE remake, could they bust down the door in a save room?
The original remake,
Yeah.
like, I don't think so. Maybe Crimson Heads, but not like normal zombies.
Okay. I swear I could have sworn I was attacked in that.
Oh, it was probably when you're doing the relentless person where you have the forest with the grenades chasing after you and you can't hit them or do anything. That might make more sense.
Oh, maybe. But I think back to like Last of Us 2, they have like an infamous moment where you're at a workbench upgrading your gun and you come out of either coming out of it or going into it and you're immediately attacked and it like makes you shit your pants
But see, I think
because you're like, "Oh, that was a that was supposed to be a safe moment. I was
right,
supposed to
it
be
makes you
fine."
put your guard down. Yeah.
And now like every other game does it. And it's just like, "Okay, like this isn't scary anymore. Now I'm just annoyed because you're telling me I'm safe in these moments, but really I'm not." So
But see, I
it's
think Alan
making the game an unreliable narrator in a
right.
way.
I think Alan Wake does it best though, because immediately it's like, yeah, you can go into these lights, these safe places, but just be aware if you attack them or antagonize them, it's gonna temporarily disappear until they're dead. It's like
Mm.
great. That's like I that's good to know because now I know if I'm gonna run for a safe room, I need to stop fighting because once I'm there, if I attack them and I'm already hurt, I'm gonna be hurting more.
So it sounds like you need to hurry up and finish Alan Wake, Josh.
Yes, but I actually the other problem is, of course, with the deluxe edition, I get all the DLC.
There's two
So I
DLCs, right?
yes, Night Springs and I forget what the other one's called off the top of my head.
The other
I've done.
sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say the other problem is you just started a Baldur's Gate 3 play.
Well, that's a whole nother story. We'll get to there in a second. So I've done two of the Night Springs. I think there's three Night Spring episodes. So the first one is you play Rose, and basically it's like a love story kind of thing, but she's like a gunslinger. She literally it starts with her like working at the diner. She's like the best waitress in the world and or runs the best diner. Two, Alan Wake's her love the love of her life, and he gets taken, or he's like his brother is going to his twin evil twin brother is gonna kill him because he's tired of it all. He's the bad boy. He's basically Mr. Scratch, but um,
He's he's Western
like a
Mr.
soap
Scratch.
opera, like a soap opera
He's
basically
wearing like the
villain.
black cowboy hat. He's got the whole
Oh, he's
black
got
outfit
he's
on.
got the leather jacket. He rides a bike and everything. When he drives off, he's got
Ching
flames that
ching
come
ching
out of
ching.
yeah. Um, so yeah, it's just her. It's her going through all of like the beach side of the town and just gunning down people basically
Cause
to save the love of her life.
she's still locked away in the darkness from the first game, right?
No, she's out of it, but um,
She's still got like the side effects though.
so from what I can see so far with her character, she seems like a little better. But you can when you hear people talk about her, they're definitely like, yeah, she hasn't been the same since that attack or since the disappearance of all the people
Mm.
from 10 years ago.
Speaking of, is Best Boy Barry? Have you seen Best Boy Barry yet?
I have not seen him, but they have mentioned him.
Okay. I
He
need him to be okay.
he actually did take. No, I won't. I won't ruin that. I'll let you find out.
All right, let me find
Um,
out. Did he do something bad?
no,
Okay. All right.
the other one, which I think was really cool, but at the same time definitely left me with some questions, is you got to play as I can't remember her name, but the girl from Taken
The girl from Taken.
or not Taken. I'm sorry, Control. I'm okay,
Oh yeah, I'm blanking on her name as well, but I know who you're talking about.
but you get to play as her, and um, it centers around Coffee World.
Okay, I've heard about this DLC.
Yeah,
Okay.
really short compared to the Rose one, especially, but by far, like I'm definitely like interested, like it it's a kind of a play on Control, but at the same time, it's like it was very meta, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It was definitely like one of those. I'm interested to know what, especially with what's all going on in Bright Falls. I don't remember how far you made it because I don't want to ruin anything for you.
I was probably still in the subways for Alan, just because my game ran like dog
Okay,
shit.
so you didn't there's some more stuff that happens that definitely
Whoa.
has me going. Well, yeah, obviously. Uh,
Whoa.
well, here, let me leave it like this. So you know, FBC obviously is involved.
Yeah, you early on in Saga you see like an FBC either sign or like it's on a building and it's like a tower.
Yeah. So um, there's more. They are more involved
Yeah.
in this for sure. I will leave it at that. So very much like when you play the DLC, you're very curious if it's if it is what it is, or if it's just like they're just using assets to like be coy with it.
I think they're building to something, and you know what? They've been on. I know people hate on Quantum Break, but you know what? Since that first Alan Wake, they've kind of been on a hit streak. I
Is Quantum Break on PlayStation or is it only on Xbox and PC?
think it was only on Xbox and PC. If it came to
I'm
PlayStation, it came later.
I'm gonna have to look because I want to play it again, but I'm like I if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it on PlayStation just because I have I have Control on there. I have Alan Wake, and I've been playing Alan Wake 2, obviously. So I'm like, I want to get it all on PlayStation if I'm going to do it and just go ham.
Let me see. I'm looking it up right now.
Well, while you're looking it up, I'll go ahead and talk about Baldur's Gate 3.
Ooh, Josh, I'm
Uh,
sorry.
it's
Windows and
not. That's
Xbox
okay.
One only.
That's okay. I'm pretty sure either you have it or I have it, I think.
I have it on Steam. I know that much.
That's what I'm saying. I think one of us has it on Steam. Um, so yeah, Baldur's Gate 3. I have a buddy who's been like talking about it, and it keeps asking me like, "Have you played it? Have you played it yet?" Since it came out, and I'm like, "Nah, I haven't had the chance, and I didn't own it." But obviously now me and Nick share a Steam library, which means I have access to it.
You
So
wait a minute, you son of a bitch. You son of a bitch.
that's
It's
right.
my copy?
I'm using you for your copy. Yeah.
Fuck.
Uh, you're welcome. So yeah, we're supposed to start last week. We're trying to do maybe like at least an hour a week, just trying to get into it. Like he's my D&D buddy, so we actually have a group we play with once a month. We actually do some D&D stuff, which we're actually doing this Saturday. Um,
Noise.
so we started it. I went ahead and made a character. I'm a um, high elf, rogue high elf. I basically made my guy a very pretty guy, and my whole thing is I'm literally going to fuck anything that will let me fuck them.
Oh, you're that D&D guy.
I'm that.
You're that
No,
D&D guy
hold
that
on.
everyone's like,
So
don't let me sit next to. I don't want to sit next to this guy.
no, so normally I try to be like neutral good or like lawful good, something like that. But I was like, my buddy wanted to do some like he basically wanted to be something different he's never tried. So I said, okay, I'll still be like the okay guy, but normally I'm like the hey, let's come up with a plan. Now like fuck it, we don't need a plan. That's my guy's whole attitude. Is like, I'm gonna fuck whatever lets me fuck it. I'm gonna press that any button that comes in my way. So
Can
I'm
I
like, I'm very much like a neutral. There's no good, no evil.
can I fuck this bad guy? I don't want to fight him. I want to fuck him.
So yeah,
You're that guy.
yes, I'm that guy. So we got through the tutorial mission. So we just crashed. I forget. I know it's the Mind Flayers, but I forget what their ship's called.
Hey, it's been when did that game come out? 2 years ago now. It's been
Yeah,
a little bit. It's been a little bit for me.
yeah. So that's as far as we got, and so far I have not fucked anything.
No, well, you don't really get
I know
any
you
options
don't really
early
get to.
on. The game's
I know.
not.
I'm just.
The game doesn't open like, hey, do you want to fuck this guy that's
Hey,
interrogating you?
if it was real D&D, it would let me try to fuck the Mind Flayer, and I would somehow get a nat 20 in the neighborhood who'd be like, "Fuck, I can't let you fuck them," but at the same time, you got a nat 20.
The game immediately ends. It's like, I guess you win.
uh he uses his tentacles on fuck, I don't know.
He takes the what is the little worm they put in you in the beginning? Is that just part of the mind flare?
Well, that's what turns you into a Mind Flayer.
Yeah, they you take it out and you play with it if you know what I mean.
He doesn't stick it in your eye hole. He puts it
Oh
in a
no.
different one.
All right, let's get out of here. Anything else on BG3?
I'm enjoying it so far. But we're only like I said, we played for an hour. It's mainly less fucking around with character creation and then doing that. So not very far, but I'm sure in the next few weeks I'll have some more entertaining things to talk about.
Okay, so here's a rule I'm gonna give your character. He has to have a body part that isn't butt or boobs that he has to be really attracted to. That has to be the thing that sets him off.
I'm gonna make a calf. See, every time he sees a hot calf, he can't control himself. He's like,
Yeah,
oh god,
yeah, yeah. You're a calf man.
I'm a calf man.
Remember that. I want to report. I want to
All
report.
right.
Someone's
Good
like,
news then. I
what
won't.
about their butt? And you're like, I like what's below it.
Uh, I like the things that keep them strong. And that's those legs.
That's those calves.
Oh yeah.
Hey, look at that. We said there's going to be a short episode, but then we ended up talking about the games we were playing for an hour, Josh. We're a real video game podcast. We're a real video. Look at us. Look at us. Josh bounced back from not playing any games last week. I'm still stuck. Not stuck, but I'm still playing Clair Obscur. Look at us. We made
We're
it,
making
Josh.
progress.
We made it. Let's hop on over to news. Josh, you got some news for us?
I certainly do.
Read all about it. Latest football scores. Morning paper. Morning star. Paper, mister?
It's time for old news.
Let's start at the very top. Sony quietly removes PC sale restrictions in dozens of countries for 4 huge PlayStation games. This is a Eurogamer article written by Vicky Blake. Thank you, Vicky. The Last of Us Part 2 Remaster, Marvel Spider-Man 2, Helldivers 2, and God of War Ragnarok just past week all had I mean, literally, like, no one knew there was just a tiny little updates for all of them, and it was just removing these restrictions, which I think is fantastic. I mean, it's sad that it took this long for them to do it.
Well, I mean, it led to Helldivers 2 being reviewed bombed last year. I can't believe it's
Yeah,
been a year. Jesus.
I know.
So yeah, I mean, this just lifts a lot of restrictions for countries that couldn't play those games, right?
Yeah, they can now. So when they had the review bombs, they went ahead and removed it from sales. I think now it re-adds them to sales, and if they already had the games and didn't get their money back, they're now able to play it without having like a VPN or something.
Well, this is good. This is good. This is a move in the right direction for Sony, but at the same time, like they were shooting themselves in the foot this entire time, and everyone was just like, "Hey, stop shooting yourself in the foot." And now we're we're applauding them because Sony's like, "Hey, I'm gonna stop shooting myself in the foot now."
I do want to add though, they did add one region.
Oh, just one.
Yeah, the Russian Federation.
Oh. Hey, Russians got to get their Helldivers, right?
Yep.
But hey, look at that. Sony's doing things.
Uh,
What else
Speaking
you
of Sony,
what else you got?
ex PlayStation exclusive Stellar Blade smashes God of War, The Last of Us, and Spider Man with Steam debut. This is a Video Games Chronicle article written by Jordan Midler. Yeah, that's right, guys. Uh, the game that was over sexualized back on the PlayStation, somehow in some magical way, which we all know the magic of mods, uh, basically outsold all those games, which is not surprising in the least.
You beat me to it. I was gonna say you're telling me the game the game everyone was creepy about is now on the machine where they can be even creepier about it.
Yeah, so in context, so Ghost of Tsushima's director's cut reached a peak of 77,000, God of War reached 73, and Spider-Man Remastered reached up to 66. Stellar Blade reached 192,000.
Dude, I don't want to know how many people are yanking it to Stellar Blade at any time. I don't need the Steam charts on this.
If I heard correct too, it is has the single most amount of mods on a single player game right now.
No, stop it. Disgusting. Where?
Oh,
Where are they?
uh, on a place where people are worried. I don't know if you heard the other story of Nexus mods selling, or the owner selling.
Have you have you bought this game yet, by the way?
No, I have not yet.
You're waiting for a sale.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't need to know how many people are playing Stellar Blade at any moment. I'd rather not know.
I mean, at this point, I'm like, not. I mean, like, I was like, yeah, it was gonna make the numbers. And jokingly, I think it was the one of the producers even came out and said, guys, it's great and all that you love our game. We appreciate it. However, can we do something a little bit better than just naked mod? Like, can we do something that actually, like, I want to see what you guys can do with, like, story, or like gameplay wise, or quality of life wise, as far as mods go. And
Make
someone came back on a post and was like, yeah, dude, we're not going to do that.
make the Stellar Blade girl look like Tifa Lockhart from Final Fantasy.
Honestly, I'm gonna go look it up. I'm sure someone's already done it.
But no, knowing that 192,000 was the number you said.
192,000 concurrent players.
That's like, I don't know, it's like going to Pornhub and like, all right, give me the most watched video. I want to see the video everyone else is yanking it to. I want to see the most watched video on Pornhub.
They have a Never Look Back Nikki Light version.
We don't have to pick we don't have to pick out these mods, Josh. You don't have to do that to us.
I'm looking now. They have a knit dress, red retexture. which just makes it look like it's yeah, a little more tight.
Into the mic, Josh, and slower.
Sorry. Um, oh dear lord, there is a ton of outfits, and a lot of them are very like there's no nudity from what I can tell so far, but there's a lot of over sexualization. Oh my
You need
god.
to get out of there right now, Josh.
Uh,
Get out of there. You're dying.
someone has to remove cables from Raven's suit, which makes her ass stick out more. Dear lord.
Wait, is that what the mod note is like? Hey, this makes her ass stick out more.
No, but like the picture is is the front of the model, back of the model, and as like as a before and after, and by God, it makes her ass stick out.
So
Like,
what you're telling me is gamers are deprived.
yes, very much so.
Well,
Oh, there's a Sailor Moon mod.
you know what? I might be interested in that. No, I'm just kidding. While you creep out over that, I'm gonna read the next one. So this is a story from Instant Gaming News. It's by Thybot. Hey Josh, the Prince of Persia remake. It's not dead.
Right?
It's not dead. It's still going. Uh, this game was announced back in 2020. It was supposed to come out in 2021. Here we are. Here we are. 4 long years later. Apparently it's been delayed to 2026, but they are working on it. Sounds like it was needing a major rework, and they had to build it from the ground up. And you know what? I'm patient enough. I having played South of Midnight recently, it was basically Sands of Time. It was Sands of Time. Josh, do not send me these links. Do not send me
Oh,
these
Nick,
links, Josh.
you have to see it, Nick.
Even my computer is like, don't look at these. My Discord is acting up on my computer because I think you just sent me a virus.
I did not send you a virus. I sent you a link.
Oh, you found the Tifo Lockhart mod
Yeah, I
for
figured there'd be one.
for Stellar Blade. Oh no.
I figured there would be one.
Well, I guess we'll have to remember that it's there when you eventually buy the game on sale, you horny bastard.
But when I do, you're gonna be like, Josh, if I give you a list of mods and $20, will you not say anything and just install them?
Josh, I slide you a piece of paper. I don't say a word. I'm like, Josh. And you open it and you close it, you set it back down, slide it to me. You look me in the eye and you just nod like this. God damn. Gamers are so deprived. Yeah, hey, Sands of Time remake's on the way, folks. Just been delayed again. They've been working on it. Now time to end with some sad news, right, Josh?
It's just, yeah, it's very depressing. Distraught Pokemon fan lost 1,000 plus hours and 20 years of progress during Switch 2 system transfer, proving need for Pokemon Home to save beloved creatures.
So there's no I saw this the other day. In fact, it was on IGN. This is the Tom Phillips story that popped up. I think this was yesterday, June 16th. There's no you can't back up when you are moving Pokemon transfers, when you're transferring Pokemon from older games into the newer games, you can't back them up in Pokemon Home at
Mhm.
all.
Well, it's just no longer a thing.
Pokemon Home's not a thing anymore.
No, I think it got discontinued last year. No, 2 years ago now.
That's just kind of crazy because, well, first of all, I think I mean, everyone has their hobbies to like move your Pokemon, but just to like be moving Pokemon since the late 90s is just kind of nuts to me.
Very much so, and honestly, it's I so older ones I understand because obviously the time frame when they were released, I get like there'd be no backups, but like in some of the newer ones, you would figure like there'd be like a way to back it up without have like just in case something like this happens. Like, okay, no, you've got your backup, you're fine.
I'm looking up Pokemon Home, the status on it. Looks like it's still available. Looks like maybe this guy just wasn't using Pokemon Home or hadn't backed up his Pokemon Home save in a while. Cloud-based service for Nintendo Switch and compatible. So I don't know. I don't have the full story. I don't know if it's fully. One report details a fan's experience. Let's read a little further into this.
Okay, because he just says he went straight into the initial transfer and everything was going great.
And then his Switch died or something like that.
Uh,
Initial
I
data
think that's what
transfer
it
with no
said.
issues. My Scarlet save file is gone. It loads straight into language selection and create a character screens. No data on my OLED. Just all gone. There was no error in data transferring at all. It went fine. All my this part's in caps, by the way, which this guy's obviously very upset. It went fine. All my other Pokemon data is still there, but not Scarlet. I had Mons from. He called them Mons. I'm sorry. Thanks. I had Mons from my original GBA up to the current on there. Literally 20 years worth of data. There's nothing I can do. I don't even know if I want to play anymore.
Oh,
So,
I see. It's a subscription now, though. It used to be free. Now it's a subscription. That's, I mean, it's still to charge. I mean, I'm not saying to charge people's wrong, but
I made the mistake of scrolling down to the IGN comments. Let's see if they're being civil. Maybe it was always a waste of time, value the enjoyment gain, not the digital carrot. You know what? You know what? I thought that was going to be way worse. I thought that guy was going to be like, touch grass. Yeah, don't chase the digital carrot. When you die, you can't take things with you. These comic books behind me that I love so much, when I'm dead, my kids are taking these things and selling the shit out of them, and I don't give a shit. Josh, those PS5 games, those PS4 games, when you die, they're staying right where they're at.
No, they're being buried with me. All right.
Why does this casket weigh so much? There's a whole PS4 library in there with them.
No, actually, if anything, I'm going to melt it all down and use it as my casket.
That'd be pretty cool. They just bury you in a PS4 box, a big PS4 box.
The lid won't close. Just smash it down.
They cremate you and just stick your ashes in a regular size PS4 box.
Just put me in my PS4 one more time so it can let me down.
Our condolences to, what was his name again? I don't even. Oh, the Otaku 26. Our condolences to you, but I don't know. Sorry, bud. Sorry about your Pokemon. Sorry about your loss. Hopefully, something. I don't know. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. Like, I don't want to be a dick.
I'll be a dick. Fuck Nintendo.
Yeah, Nintendo, it's fucked up. Give this man his Pokemons back.
Give him his money back.
Give him his. No, Josh. Do you have a meme for us?
Yeah. Oh, I certainly do.
Me time.
All right, what you
got? I've got Peter Parker and Harry Osborn talking. Harry goes, "I'm buying Stellar Blade." Harry goes, "Peter, that game objectifies women, is 18 plus, and is bloody." Peter goes, "Harry, I just told you I'm buying Stellar Blade. You don't have to sell it to me."
I'm overdue for a Sam Raimi Spider-Man rewatch. Those movies, right? I can't believe those movies are 20 years old at this point. Even the Spider-Man 3 is what, 2005? No,
so, yeah.
Spider-Man 3 is 2007.
Yeah, it says towards the end.
Because it was 2002, 2004, and then 3 took a little longer, so yeah, 2007. Good meme, Josh, even though you stole it.
Thank you.
All right, last segment of the show. I'm not even going to switch back over to the screen. A few weeks back, we set some categories. We got some changes here, so we are getting rid of, right off the bat, let me remind you what the categories are. Game of the year so far, song of the year so far, which Clair Obscur and South Midnight going to have some songs in there when I get to add in them. New character of the year so far, same for those. Box art of the year so far. Disappointment of the year so far. I owe you an apology. I wasn't really familiar with your game award. That's my favorite.
That's my favorite, honestly.
That is my favorite. Best free game. This is any game that we either got for free somehow or was given away. I bought that award, which I'm considering killing that one, but we'll come back to that in a minute. And best non-game so far, which is that's where we put anything that our heart desires, an anime, a comic book, season of TV, whatever it may be. For those that are listening that were like, "Hey, I'm excited for that blueprints session or segment where they vote or where they're deciding the worst room to draft in blueprints." We are not doing that one for GOTYSO. We are moving that one to game of the year at the end of the year. The simple fact is Josh just hasn't had enough time to play blueprints because he's humping everything in Baldur's Gate 3.
I'm either fucking in Baldur's Gate or I'm getting fucked in Alan Wake 2.
Correct. So we are canning that one. That one will again be in Game of the Year at the end of the year. I don't, you know, also executive decision. I am killing. Where is it? I bought that. I'm killing the I bought that award because it's just a boring award. I don't want it here. Do you want it here, Josh?
Nah.
And so that right now that puts us at, let's see, ignore this note up here. Game of the year,
Huh?
song of the year, new character of the year, box art, disappointment, apology, best free game, best non-game so far. So that puts us at 8 categories. So one category that we are adding for sure that we want to do that I think would be fun. We have reached the halfway point of the 2020s, literally the halfway point. We've only got the back half of 2025, 2026, 2027, 2028, 2029. We're right smack dab in the middle. So after Game of the Year, which is usually our last category. So after Game of the Year so far, we're going to do Game of the Decade so far.
Which I think this is going to be a lot harder of a one to do because we're going to have to do a lot of research.
I think it's going to be fun.
It'll be fun, but I think it's going to be a lot of work because my memory is very terrible once we get past 2024.
So Josh,
Yes.
we have the list from 2023,
I know.
2024.
And
We did 2022, right? 2022 is our first Game of the Year.
we should have, I think, yeah.
Yeah, so you have
Well, we got 2021 and 2020 still.
Yeah, I mean, come on, Josh. Come on.
I know.
You got this.
I'm just being a negative Nancy over here.
You got this. So that puts us right at 9 categories. So my thought is, again, one of the last episodes is Game of the Year so far, which we usually have that by itself, and that usually takes an hour. I think Game of the Decade so far is going to take an hour plus, right?
So you think a whole nother episode?
So what I'm thinking is, so we had 10 categories, we're down to 9. So if you take those 2 out, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So what I think is you do 3, 2, 2, 3, 2, 2, 1, 1.
So 4 episodes instead of 3.
3, 2, 2. I think you do 5, but just 2 of them are one category.
I meant we're doing 4 episodes. We usually do 4 episodes, and we're doing 5 this year.
We would do 5. We would do 5.
We do 5. I thought it was because it was always 10, and we did 3, 3, 3, and then 1.
Yeah, so we would be doing an extra because 3.
Right. So
2.
3, 2,
2. That's 3 episodes.
Right, and then 1, 1.
1, 1.
So that's 2 more episodes right there.
So
instead of doing 4 that we normally do, we're going to do 5, like I just said.
Yes.
You're like, no, do the math here. You got 3.
Well, so
then you go 2.
I think like the first 2 years we did 5. Last year our GOTYSO was just one category, and then at one point I think our Game of the Year was only 4 days. So we've kind of been bouncing around with how many episodes we do.
I mean, 5 episodes is fine. It's not like it's going to take like. It's honestly probably the 3 that's going to be the longest of them all because it's 3 different categories and it's us arguing for our cases.
Yes, but it'll be fun. It'll be fun.
It'll be fun.
And I'm gonna reach out to some folks. Maybe we can get some lists.
Or maybe we can even get someone to join us for each episode. That'd be cool.
That would be cool. But then also they may not have some stuff. They may not have played everything we played, Josh. It's tough. It's tough to ask people to jump in.
Nah, I agree. I'm just it'd be nice to have another voice in here.
It would be. I do miss Jake. I miss having the 3 voices.
Maybe at least for decade of the Game of the Decade. Maybe we can get like a couple people involved in that because that's a lot of years. You've played something in there that you can throw in there and talk about.
Yeah,
or you've at least played some of it.
I think
all of it.
I think I could wrangle up some people. I think I could wrangle up. I think we could get. It could be a nice big room. It could be a very nice big room. You know. I don't know. What was that?
It sounds like you're trying to go for like some type of like Russian. Maybe.
Did I just turn into Nico from? Did I turn into Nico from GTA 4? Cousin.
Cousin.
Cousin, what are you doing?
What is he? He's not
He's Southeast European.
is it Southeast European?
I'm
We're gonna have to look
I'd
it
have to
up.
look it up. I'd have to look it up. So let's, you know what? While we're here, what we've got, we're at an hour 15. Let's put these in some kind of order. Uh, so we know, this is one episode by itself.
Yep.
So we'll label it 1. We know this is one episode by itself, so we'll label that 2. Song of the year kind of feels like it's the big one, right? That's the big non-game of the year category to me.
Yeah, and it's mainly because we have to not I say have to listen, but we listen to the songs, and sometimes we like to go a little bit over time. Like we'll say, "Oh, we're gonna do like a 30-second play," and sometimes it honestly goes beyond that because there's just some bangers out there. You have to play more than 30 seconds.
So then my thought is the ones that we're going to put 3 on, that will be the episode with 3, right? So I'm
Yeah.
thinking those should be like maybe the shorter ones, maybe the more fun ones.
New character and box art usually go by pretty quick. I think those two should be on one together.
New character and box art. I like that. And then let's do best free game. Or no, best
That's
not
fair.
do no, best non-game, we'll say that. Best free game. And then so here, let me move that up with the 3s. And I kind of like that order. New character, box art, best free game. It's a good order. And then we'll move song of the year. So song of the year, it's gonna be 5, right? And I'll make this make sense. The numbers, the way they work, I'll make this make
So
sense. So really, it'll be it'll be like this. Watch. So honestly, this will be episode 1, episode 1, episode 1. Here, let me put songs down here so I don't forget and lose it. And so really, this would be episode 5, episode 4.
mm-hmm.
Let me move these down. Cut down to the bottom with you boys. Okay, so for episode 1, we've got new character of the year so far, box art of the year so far, and best free game so far, and that can be from any year. And then I feel like we open that second episode with disappointment of the year so far.
Yep, that sounds good.
Just get the negativity out of the way. Sorry, I'm terrible at this. Asking me to do the list stuff. It's just too much. Just too much. All right, so 1, and then the second 2. Let's do I owe you an apology.
Yeah, because it's being I like it.
Or do you want best non-game so far? Because that'll be
See, that's where I think we need to probably branch them off. Is between that and Song of the Year. They're both going to take very long.
so. Let's do best non-game so far on day 2, right?
That works. Yeah,
Because I
I
feel
feel like for the most part,
I feel like I owe you an
Good.
apologies. We're gonna come in with this stuff where it's like, no, like this is I slept on this. This is what I'm gunning for. Best game of the year so far. And then we open day 3 with I owe you an apology. And then we cap off the non-game of the year stuff with song of the year so far.
sounds good.
All right, so let's go back through that order. So day 1 of GOTYSO 2025 will be new character of the year so far, box art of the year so far, and best free game. I like that order. I think we keep that order.
I like it.
Day 2 will be disappointment of the year so far and best non-game so far. 3 will be I owe you an apology. I wasn't really familiar with your game award. And then after that, song of the year so far. Day 4 will just be game of the year so far for 2025. And then day 5 will be game of the decade so far. And we'll do we do 20? Do we pick a top 20?
Part of me says yes.
I think it can be done. I think it can be done.
I think it can be done too. With the problem, then becomes, if this is the episode we're going to bring people in, it may be a longer than an hour. This might be a 2 to 3 hour episode
That's fine.
alone,
That's fine.
as long as you're okay with it.
That's fine.
That's all I'm saying.
I'm down for it. I'm down to clown.
All right, then yeah, I'd say let's make it top 20.
All right, we did it. We did it. So far okay, even though I call it GOTYSO, and it was this has to bug the shit out of people. I've called it Game of the Year so far, but I call it GOTYSO, which would be SO. I guess GOTYSO would just be for the so.
I mean,
I know
I
people are
prefer
nitpicky.
I prefer ending the award in so far than GOTYSO. So I'm fine with it.
I'm still gonna call it GOTYSO.
You're not. I mean, we've had this argument. You've not listened to me. We've done it for how many years now?
We've been doing it for a while. We've been doing it for
Yeah.
a while, longer than I thought we would.
I've learned not to fight the GOTYSO part. There's other battles I can fight and win.
Hey, we did it. We reached the end of the episode. We got to go play some. I got to edit this and get it all set up to come out tomorrow. And we both got to go play some video games. Get ready for some GOTYSO, right, Josh?
Yeah.
He's so happy. He's so happy. Look at him.
I'm tired. I drank my coffee and I got a little disappointed when we were finishing up the words. It's like, I'm gonna take another sip, and I'm like, oh, I don't have anything left.
I'm tired, boss. I'm tired.
Dude, I've been up since 3. The kiddo woke me up and I couldn't fall back asleep, and I'm like, damn.
How much more often are you smelling like pee since having a child?
I don't know. What the fuck?
I've got a bedwetter. I've got a puppy that pees everywhere. I smell like pee. My battle right now is just making sure it doesn't smell like grandma's house when we were kids, and I think I'm doing a pretty good job.
Do I need to come over with like a hazmat suit and just do a deep clean one day when you guys are all out of the house?
No, we deep clean this shit. It's just what's been the worst part is the rain. So the dogs go like it'll smell like wet dog in here some days.
Nick,
But
I'm not talking you and Lane deep clean. I'm talking the ghost of Gregory comes out deep clean.
Dude, I know he comes out of me sometimes too. But we're fine. We'll be okay.
You're making my fucking skin crawl
No,
right now. I
Josh,
don't like
it's
that.
just Josh, it's kids, man. When you're outnumbered, you're outnumbered, man. When you're outnumbered.
There's 2 of you and 2 of them.
But then there's 3 dogs.
You gotta stand up. You gotta tell them dogs to fucking stop. You are man. They are man's best friend. Listen.
You tell a Rottweiler puppy to stay out of the mud.
I took my dog to a fucking class. She listens to me.
The peeing has like we've curb-tailed it. Like
there'll
be an accident maybe like once a week now.
No, the peeing part, it's puppies. They're learning. It's like telling a kid not to piss themselves, and when they're in diapers, like they're gonna fucking do it. It's just they don't have no control.
Right.
That's why you teach them, which you've been doing, and they're gonna eventually get away from it. I'm not saying that part so much. I'm talking more of the shit that they do.
Even when we like on a cooler day when we leave them in the garage with the fan on, they don't pee in there anymore, which is like good. That's
well, they learn. They're like, oh, dude, this is the place we fucking chill at. Yeah, we're not gonna piss in here,
dude. I'm not gonna. Oh, there is the one of them will come in after being out for hours, and then I'll leave the room, come back in, and there'll be a piss puddle. It's like I just let you in. I just let you in. What were you doing,
dude? That's what like. Ollie did it one time last week in the middle of the night. She woke me up at 1 o'clock, had to go to the bathroom. I let her out. It rained, but it wasn't raining anymore. She was out there for a good 10 minutes. She came in, got her treat. She's eating her food. I went to go chill in the bedroom. I came out later in the night because she had to go back out, and she shit on the floor when she was eating.
That little
fucker. Are you
fucking
kidding me?
That little fucker. Yeah, I think it's Birdie. I think it's Birdie here. There's we've got Birdie and Winnie, and I think it's Birdie. Like Birdie's like, but Birdie's the one that likes me. Like me and Birdie are chill, so I'm like, I can't be mad at you. We're bros.
Birdie was the first one, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like,
sorry, you got 2 of them from the same litter, basically. I'm like, I gotta remember which one's which.
We call them the twins, even though there was like 8 of them. Like, oh, we got girls. Where are the twins at?
Jesus.
All right, let's do our end of show chores. Everyone, you can find me on Blue Sky at nickkaufman.com. You can also find me at the literal nickkaufman.com, where you can find this podcast and many other things, including my writing samples, including my hard drive stuff. I've got some pieces going up. They go up more sporadically now. I never know when they're gonna go up. So just type in hard drive and Nick Kaufman, and I will be. You never, honestly, Googling someone's name with hard drive should never be a good thing, but this is a good thing.
So I tried Googling it before and I couldn't find it. I actually had to go to Hard Drive's website to find your shit.
Yeah, it's if you Google hard drive Nick Kaufman, I promise you it won't say I'm in trouble for what's on my hard drive. It'll say it'll say Nick Kaufman is a writer for hard drive.
It'll probably say like, yeah, there's some questionable shit on here.
I was just think because I've told a few people like, yeah, just search for me on hard drive, and like I always go back in my head like, I wish there was a better way to tell people not to find my stuff, but that's just what it is.
Maybe
words
just
are
tell
hilarious.
them to go to your website where you have a link directly to it.
There we go. That's what I'm gonna do from now on.
Did yourself a favor there.
Can also find me at Nick Fat Knight on Twitch and YouTube. Josh, where can the people find you?
You can find me anywhere and everywhere at I'm Josh Saying. You can also find us on our website, smashinggametime.com, where the podcast lives and our words live, which I haven't posted anything recently. Nick, have you?
I started writing my South of Midnight review.
Oh, nice. I think
I'll
I
be done
might
like in 3 years.
I need to come up with two that will force me to do it, especially now since I haven't written anything in God, almost a month.
Let me be your editor. Let me be your editor, Josh.
Do you want to be my editor?
Yeah, just whenever it's done, send it to me and I'll edit it.
All
I'll
right,
give you notes. I'll be like, too many adjectives. Try again.
Oh, but I love adjectives. They're my favorite.
Stop it.
There's the conjunctions.
Stop it. You stop it. We're not going to sing conjunction. What's your function? Everyone, we are getting out of here. Thank you to Alex Marvin Clark for our intro and outro song, Hunt 'Em Down. Check out his SoundCloud that we have linked down in the show notes. He's got awesome stuff there. Everyone, this has been Smashing Game Time. We hope you all had a smashing great time. We'll see each and every one of you next time.